Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve. Or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
It's time for Radio Royalty with James Golden and America's Princess of Policy, Princess Di.
The inscription on the check says, "Sir James, you were right." It has been issued from royalty, from her goodness-ness, her loveliness-ness, her richness, the wonderfulness, analysis of our Princess of Policy-ness, Princess Diana, who is in the house. I bring that up because I just read a text that began with these words, "I've changed my mind." Princess Diana is in the house this morning. Welcome, Your Highness.
Oh, Sir James, I also want to dub you, as I mentioned, thanks to your caller, the Duke of Democracy, and I am happy to basically credit you for many things, and one of which is helping me change my mind on certain things. And so I also want to thank you because thanks to the coverage that you gave, especially yesterday and this morning, you gave great clarity, as you said, something that has been in the fog of war, exactly what is happening between the Senate and the House and who caved and who won. And I really was befuddled. And I thought one thing, as you did, because that was the early reporting, was that the Democrats got nothing of what they wanted. And I assumed, okay, thanks to Trump's taking the leverage away by arranging to pay the TSA agents, that the Democrats realized they had nothing. And so I assumed that this was going to basically unfold in an easy way. And thanks to you letting me know and letting your audience know that there was a fast one polled at 3 a.m, and you mentioned the 5 senators who were there who approved this deal by voice vote, one of whom was the eminent John Thune, who is the Senate Majority Leader, a Republican. And he was one of the 5, whose name should go down in infamy forever. And so I am so appreciative. I read Chuck Schumer's post on X yesterday. He says, and he was right, Chuck Schumer wrote, "After weeks of negotiations, Republicans caved to our demands to fund DHS without a blank check for ICE and CPB, the Customs and Border Patrol." And so I now feel that it is time to call for the end of John Thune's position as Senate Majority Leader. I know that has bubbled up online for a while, and I have dismissed it because it's never going to happen. There's no use putting any energy into it. The Senate is the Senate, and the rhinos have controlled it for a long time, thanks Mitch McConnell. But you think of 3 important things that happened. The pulling the fast one, that these 5 senators, according to the Speaker of the House, Johnson, he gave them them out, said, well, they truly must not have read the document. Of course they read it. But that pull the fast one, or agreeing with the Democrats to screw the American people, that is the first thing that happened. Then the Senate went home, and that wonderful video of Thune hightailing it through the airport went viral. But the other thing that happened is they went home, but they didn't call an official recess. so that once again, President Trump does not have the ability to do recess appointments, which is, he is the first president that the Senate has done this to. You look at all the statistics of previous presidents, and this is a constitutional ability, a power of the president that they can make recess appointments if the Senate is in recess. The Senate has not gone into official recess while Trump has been president, and so he cannot do this very important thing. So they have boxed up a lot of his appointments. They blue-slipped him, and so, it's supposedly led by the Republicans, but it is in cahoots with the Democrats. And then the third thing to mention is no Save America Act, which is very important to this country to proceed. So those three recent things, and there is a long trail of abuses of John Thune leading the Senate before that. But in my view, this is the last straw. He's got to go. And so I know that Mike Lee has been working very hard, senator from Utah, on the Save America Act. He is not giving up. He is pushing for it. And I am hoping that what happens is the public pressure that you and me also adds to John Thune's focus on having the way to have a change in leadership is not complicated. You only need, I think it's under a dozen of the senators to call for it. And I am just hoping, and I think it's time, that the public weighs in and says Thune has got to go.
John Thune has got to go. Let me play you, Princess. Let me find this, because what you just said was brought up, cut 5, Matt, by a reporter to Speaker. No, the regular, not the overnights. Cut 5, a reporter asked John Thune the question. I believe it may have been Chad Parker. I'm not sure. But anyway, listen to this.
You and John Thune are not on the same page. You came out and criticized Democrats. He was the engineer behind this. Why are you guys not on the same page? And are you not extending the shutdown? If you were to accept what the Senate had passed, this could end tonight and the TSA lines would shrink.
I wouldn't call John Thune the engineer of this. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate have forced this upon the Senate. I have to protect the House. Let me answer the question, Chad. I have to protect the House. And I have to protect the American people. That's our responsibility. Our colleagues on this side understand this is not a game. We are not playing their games. These people want open borders, and they want criminal illegal aliens in the country. They do not want to enforce the law. They want to literally defund. You just read it in the bill here. They want to give $0 to enforcing federal immigration laws and keeping the border secure. That was the biggest issue in the election of 2024, the wide open border that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hoisted upon the country. And 20 million, by some estimates, 20 million dangerous, criminal, illegal aliens included in that number came over the border. We have terrorists in our country. We have, obviously, murderers. They're putting it on display. And then these big blue cities that have sanctuary city policies, they're releasing these people onto the streets. They released them over the border when they came over under the Biden years. And that is the turmoil that we're facing right now, the very serious threats to the homeland and everybody. It's not just long lines at the airport. It is the danger and safety of everyone.
Okay, now, when I first heard that, I didn't understand the significance of the question. I just thought it was a line. The line. Thune engineered this, and he quickly deflected out of it. After what you said, it is clear that Thune had his hand in this all the way. In fact, it's absurd to think that it couldn't come out of the Senate without his approval.
Absolutely. And as we know, Thune was trained by the worst or the best, however you look at it, Mitch McConnell, on scheming and using the rules of the Senate against the base, the Republican base. And so Thune is fulfilling his mentor's prophecies and an agenda in this. And to have him be one of the 5 tells you everything. And I know that the Republican House and the Senate have to be civil to each other, and the Speaker of the House is civil. And he gave him an out, basically saying, well, surely he didn't really read it. But, as you say, one of the 5 who voted in the dead of night, voice vote, which suddenly the Senate can pass by voice vote, something big item. But they can't pass the no to the Save Act America in using the Senate rules to produce that. So it is a Thune issue. It's got to rest on his shoulders. We have video of him trying to run away, and all of that coming together. It is time for the public to coalesce. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the base, the voters themselves, haven't really focused on Thune because he's this mild-mannered. He's from, I believe, one of the Dakotas. Where is it? South Dakota. And so he has a very mild-mannered. He's tall. He looks kind of movie starish. And so he doesn't have the villain look that a lot of them do in Washington. But in this case, I think he is a villain, and so he's got to go. And so that needs to be part of the statements and agenda bubbling up from the public to the Senate and to the House.
Well, I just got a text from Lord Baltimore, whose name has to be. He said, Thune stinks. Thune stinks. But the filibuster is more important than the SAVE Act. And so I'm sorry, what was that?
I just moaned because, asking for them to actually speak is using the filibuster. That is what is being requested here, is that this be debated and that they speak. So it's not eliminating the filibuster. I think that is a specious argument and untrue.
Well, I'm going to have to read the article. There's an article in the town hall about it today, why the filibuster is just as important, if not more so, than the SAVE Act. So I haven't had a chance to read it. I just got it sent to me. I'll take a look at it.
We all know that the Democrats, once they're in power, they will absolutely eliminate it in the first hour. So it is a specious argument again.
Well, as you said, changes in the Senate, very difficult. I'm fed up. I am beyond fed up with this entire process. Look, Democrats can find a way to do whatever the hell they want to do, and they always do. I don't care what it is. Obamacare passed in the middle of the night with just Democrats. They found a way to do it. They found a way to get it done. And this is one of the things that Trump says. Show some leadership. Find a way to get it done. Democrats find a way to get it done, whether it's 3 a.m. in the morning with whatever. It seems that Republicans, when they get hold of the same institution as the Democrats have, cannot find a way to get it done. And I think the base is rightly fed up and furious with the not getting it done, especially on an 80-20 issue like the SAVE Act.
Bingo. And I also think we need to credit the House because, as you had mentioned earlier, they did get the 12 appropriations bills through the House, and they did their job. And on this case, they were the ones who caught the problem and stopped this horrible bill from succeeding.
Now, where do you think things go from here? We're back to step. They're never going to go. Democrats have already said Chuck Schumer's livid, Hakeem Jeffries livid, their little scheme didn't work. So now we're back. They sent a clean CR over to the Senate, who's out of town on vacation. Maybe they'll stop back in the office Monday, maybe not. They probably don't want to wait in TSA lines. Oh, that's right. They don't have to, despite what they say, because they still get escorted. But maybe they'll head back into Washington. Maybe they don't. Where do you think it goes from here?
Well, on that, did you see Delta basically said they're not going to do that anymore? And the cheering that came from the public for that particular thing, I think all airlines are going to join with that. I think that the public anger, this is a huge betrayal that Thune has done to the base and to the American people. And I really do think now Trump has been kind of off the negotiating table on this particular thing lately. And so I think he gets re-engaged, and I think that will make all the difference because Trump knows how to win. And so Thune is going to be embarrassed. He is going to be on defense, and I think that will be an opening for Trump to show the way as to how this gets done properly.
Well, I would hope that is the case because this now, one of the things that will happen, TSA agents, and I'm assuming others will be paid because what Trump did with the executive order is said, hey, Kay, if there's a nexus to Department of Homeland Security, find the money, pay them from other parts. They're just moving money around. So hopefully the paychecks come. Once the lines go away, though, to me that's a double-edged sword, because then that takes away the impetus for the Democrats to settle up quickly if they don't think there's any public anger directed toward them. So, I don't know. This thing could extend for 40 more days.
I don't think it's going to. You know, that would be my instinct. I think the public is fed up, and I think, as I said, that it is breaking through who is responsible, even though the media always blames the Republicans for any kind of shutdown. This crossed many lines. And when it comes to Thune, as a huge betrayal, he crossed many lines with us. So the dynamic is now officially changed.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.